right. Peace and blessings to everybody out there. Welcome back to the Fake Woke Podcast. This is your boy Bobby VILN, and I'm back with another video. The emasculation of black males, or shall I say, the Little Nas X video. We can say that too. For the most part, he's been trending for 5 days. He's been the topic of discussion for 5 whole days. At first, I wasn't gonna do a video at all about this topic. Actually, when that first photo of him went viral, of him with the fake titties and whatnot, that sparked me to come up with the concept of the emasculation of the black male. And then, like, I reneged. I didn't want to do the video. I told myself I'm gonna save it for another time. I'm gonna save it for a more appropriate time. And now, what's more appropriate than this situation right here? So for the most part, as you saw, if you seen the thumbnail of the video, or if you actually saw and witnessed the video, or like if you just seen what's his name, Lil Nas X here and there, he comes off as emasculated to me for the most part. But that's how a lot of celebrities are coming across now. Boondocks called it, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing called it, Dr. Neely Fuller, her mentor, called it. A lot of people seen it coming, and now when you look at entertainers, when you look at rappers in particular, they got French tip nails, they got painted nails, they got press-on nails on now, colored hair, a lot of feminine things that women were doing back in the 90s and are doing now. So for the most part, yeah, like it came down to it. It finally happened. It's finally being mainstream. It's finally being pushed. If you're familiar with the Boondocks, if you're a fan of the Boondocks, not the Thugnificent, but the Gangstalicious episode, both episodes when Gangstalicious was found out to be gay and got shot at by his ex-lover, Mos Def did the voiceover for Gangstalicious. That was the first episode. Second episode, they had Riley dressed up in a dress. They had the long shirt with the ass cut out and everything. And they depicted that this shit would happen. And as you can see, this is exactly what's happening. And Lil Nas X is just one of many of these entertainers or rappers or artists, whatever you want to call them nowadays, that bought into the feminization of the black male. Legit. For the most part, from what I see, besides little Pump or Peep, whatever that nigga name is, it's majority black males painting their nails, dyeing their hair, coming out as gay, wearing dresses, this, that, and the third. It's happening right before your eyes. And Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she mentioned that in the ISIS papers. If you haven't read the ISIS papers, I recommend you read the ISIS papers. Matter of fact, go back even further than that. Nah, not even further than that, but go ahead, read the ISIS papers, turn around and read the Gay Manifesto. I forgot who wrote the Gay Manifesto, but I got the PDF. I'll post it on my story. But yeah, they've been planning this for for majority of the time, especially with entertainment, to put these small little messages, the symbolism of satanic shit, also not only satanic rituals and satanic images and imagery, but also feminizing images, and not only feminizing images, but your favorite celebrities. They want them to embrace this movement, because not only are you portraying men in general in this light, because for some reason they want to redefine what a man is. All of a sudden they want to redefine what a man is, and not only redefine what a man is, but they also want to change the definition of masculinity. And it's not the celebrities that's doing this shit. It's the machines behind them that's doing this shit. Now, somebody brought to my attention, well, Lil Nas X paid for the video out of his own pocket. He dropped the video without the record label knowing. He has full creative control over his content that he produced, and that might be true. That can possibly be true. It's not far-fetched. But who's to say that the record label didn't put him up to do this? And even if he did drop the video without the record label knowing, this is right up the alley of what they would want an artist like him to do, especially since his whole following was predicated around kids. Why was it predicated around kids? I don't know, because his Old Town Road was about riding dick, sipping lean, and doing a bunch of adult acts. That's what the song was about, if you listen to the lyrics. They literally marketed that man to children for the most part. He did a whole bunch of school appearances. The majority of his fan base were children. So I understand how adults or parents, I understand how parents can be offended by the imagery that was portrayed in this most recent video. But what I can't understand is, why are you letting your child listen to Lil Nas X in the first place? Now, I understand, like, you can do everything in your power to censor what your child intakes on a daily basis, but he's going to end up coming across this shit somehow, some way, because there's a kid out there that his parents let him do whatever, or she let him do, or her, whatever they want. And they listen to whatever they want to listen to. And your kid is going to come across that shit. Your kid is going to come across that shit secondhand. That's what I meant to say, secondhand. So it might not be within the comforts of your own home, but they going to come across this type of shit. It's all about how you raise your child and how you raise your child to interpret certain things. That's just what it is. You know, like I've seen a bunch of shit I wasn't supposed to see as a child, but that didn't really affect me in the most part. And there's a lot of people out there that's like that, but there's a lot of people that are very impressionable at that age, very moldable. You could mold the mind of a child if they see certain things enough. And that's just what it is. And that's why I had a problem with it, but he had a point where he was like, your kids shouldn't be listening to me in the first place. And that's true. Your kids shouldn't be listening to Rick Ross, fucking Lil Wayne, fucking Cardi B and the Meg Thee Stallions. If your child is under a certain age, they shouldn't be listening to that type of content. But you got people out here that's playing that shit for the kids, and the kids is reciting this shit. You got kids out here that's under the age of fucking 12 with social media accounts, and they shouldn't be having that shit, because you can't censor what they see on social media, because you're not watching them what they do on social media. And you got a lot of this feminizing imagery that's coming across the timelines, the dashboards, constantly. You see the shit within media, you see the shit within entertainment, you see the shit within music, and it's starting to become, no, it's already became normal, quote unquote. And if you think differently, you're gonna get re-educated. And that's what times have become now. Now, you can't sit there and tell me, going back to the imagery within the video, you can't sit there and tell me that the record label didn't put him up to that shit. He could sit there and he could say there's no agenda being pushed, this is all me, blah, blah, blah. They could put him up to say that shit. And that's legit. That's legit. Who goes this far to troll, quote unquote, Christians, bro? You spent a good amount of money, I bet, on the CGI of that fucking video. I know you did. And then on top of that, you giving Satan a lap dance. Now, do I necessarily believe in Satan? That's for another video, but still. The satanic religion, the worship of Satan, is real. There's elites that worship that shit. And you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me different, because I know it's a fact. I know it's a fact, because if it wasn't a fact, there's certain shit that they put on social media, that they put these celebrities up to portray or to promote. You can't sit there and tell me that the elites aren't Satan worshipers. A lot of the shit that you see is part of that whole satanic religious beliefs. So I don't want to hear that shit. It's an agenda being pushed. He's pushing the agenda, and regardless if he knows that he's pushing the agenda is being pushed, bro. Pawns don't know that they're pawns, bro. In the game of chess, you don't know that you're a pawn. You don't know that you're a pawn. And that's just real. That's just what it is. And I understand that he feels like this is an expression of himself, and whatever the case may be, I get that, but you have been what I would call indoctrinated for the most part. That's just what it is, bro. You have been indoctrinated. You are pushing the feminization, the emasculation of the black male, and a lot of your fan base is kids, regardless if you like it or not. And a lot of these parents should be ashamed of themselves for trying to ridicule this man because of your lack of parenting, your bad parenting. Nigga, that's your fault too. That's your fault too. I don't know, man. The whole situation is fucking stupid, and I've already said this shit time and time again in several videos, that they was coming for the kids. They don't want you to raise your kids. The state want to raise your kids. The elites want to raise your kids. And the fact that he's going behind himself and trying to defend himself for making the content that he made lets me know, and me reading the tone of the tweets that he's putting out, I could tell that he's angry with people and how they perceived him. You got to deal with that anger before you address the masses, before you grow up, because you're going to carry that anger for the rest of your life. You unsatisfied with yourself, and you unsatisfied with the people out here. That's just what it is. You're not in touch with reality, buddy. You called yourself trying to troll people, and you fucked around and dug yourself into some shit.